Tua and this concussion thing.
Oh, my bad.
Every
I'm. Everything is
yeah,
registering that we actually won this game. So,
yes. But for me, um, a lot of people have been advising Tua to talk to his doctors, talk to his family, just talk to anybody. And then he pops out and says he has no plans to retire.
well, before
I
that,
don't.
my bad. Well, no, we can go there. That's fine.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
go.
yeah. Let's do that. Yeah. So, I mean, this game was Thursday. So I think he should retire. You got a long life to live. They show where I can't remember the name of my guy, who played with the Lions, but he got a letter. He got a text from Javed Best, and Javed Best, who had to retire for concussions, he kind of put it in context of like you can't, nobody else can make the decision for you, but football is a large portion of your life, but it is in fact not your entire life. You have family. You have so many other things that I know you want to accomplish as a man, as a human, you know, and you've done what people really set out to do. You changed your family's life. That $125 million is guaranteed. That's your money. I know that football is your passion. You're a young guy, but you want to live to be an old guy.
I agree to a certain extent, but I will push back on that. I was listening to not just a few sports podcasts, but I was listening to some like therapy podcasts as well, where it's from a therapeutical, that is not a word. It is from a
Therapeutic.
therapeutic point of view in terms of sports mental health. Because I wanted to understand why you would come back from these concussions to the point where like you got fencer's arm and fencer's fingers and you got rigor mortis and you're unconscious and even in this hit, at least the other ones where he got the concussions, he like you could visibly see like okay, he fell backwards and his head hit the ground in Miami where they play like his head hit the ground, or he was slammed by the Bengals defensive tackle that was 380 pounds. Like you could see this hit against Hamlin. He just lunged for a first down. He did. Hamlin didn't hit him. It was just a
Regular
regular
football
hit.
hit.
So
And just like I said, I feel bad for DeMar Hamlin. Like I don't want to continuously be out here and these
right.
type of things be happening. That's just gonna give me a spooky, weird feeling.
But what I'm
Um,
saying is you don't necessarily football is a large thing of what they do, but it's also a large thing of who they are. When you get to this level of any type of sport, professional sport, where that is your profession, you have done this for your entire life. And Tua is a whole nother story because he did it in Hawaii. And then he went to Alabama and moved his
Bryce
entire
Young, yeah.
family to Alabama. Then he moved his entire family to Miami. It's not like, even though he does have his money and the Dolphins said, hey, we won't try to recoup any of the guaranteed money because, I mean, it is what it is. You still are at 20. He's what, 27? At 27
Yeah.
in NFL, you would think that you are going to play for another 7 to 10 years because he's playing well. Like he just got that contract and he's got one of the better teams to basically make him a top 10 quarterback for the next 5 years if he could just distribute the ball correctly. So when you have all of those things and you can finally accomplish, and you've accomplished everything on every level, it's very difficult for say, well, nah, you just can't do it no more unless you planned on it and you have something else in check. But this is his whole life. This is his whole being.
And there's two ways to look at that. You're right. You grew up playing football. You played football your whole life. You're right. To walk away from football would leave a massive void in your life. But one thing I can attest to, and I can tell you I've learned over the last year is sometimes that's the universe telling you that you need to do something else or something else needs to happen or there's a change that needs to be made or an opportunity for you to really learn who you really are. And the universe works in this way. I think that if your biggest concern is like, who am I outside of football? Then that means that the universe is telling you it's time for you to start figuring out. And you might want to answer that question. I can't tell you that because every man has his own journey. But if that's how you feel, then yeah, that might be something you need to look into.
Yeah, are we just gonna send T's and P's? And said that in a while. We're gonna send T's
Absolutely,
and P's up for Tua and his entire
man.
family
Protect
because he's got
yourself,
two
man.
small
Yeah,
kids. So protect yourself at all times. And y'all were down by so much at that point. Buffalo, we ain't even talking about the game. Buffalo beat the shit out of them.
yeah.
And it's not like they've been doing it for the last whatever he's figured out with Miami. He's figured it out. Don't matter the coach, don't matter the scheme, don't matter nothing. I think they've won like 6 in a row against Miami, or they're 5-1 or whatever.
And the NFL, you have a duty to protect that man from himself too. Now, let's be very honest.
Why would you think the
Y'all
NFL
are
gonna do that?
okay. We'll have another DeMar Hamlin situation. Tell me how that went. You want another one of those?
DeMar Hamlin is
Oh,
the
all
starting
right.
safety. Don't they have a duty to protect him? He was dead on the field. They brought him back.
I think you're right. Go ahead. They're not, and you're right. They're not gonna be happy that somebody dies on the field. But when they do,